Very good. Well, my name is Massimo Cavazzini from Fiat. I'd like to welcome everybody to the 6th Our Future Mobility Now webinar. We are exploring EcoDrive today. As you know, the webinar is supported by Fiat. I'm here with my colleague Pavel Ivanov, and today we will explore how EcoDrive is working, what's EcoDrive, and this is the first part of our webinar, while in the second part, after the Q&A session, we will announce the winner of our EcoDrive challenge. So I would like quickly to explain how the webinar system works. On the left-hand side, you have the video conference box featuring the moderator. And on the left-hand side, there is also the list of all participants. Clicking on your name will allow you to raise your hand if you have a question, agree or disagree, and so on. In the center of the screen is the display area where you will see the presentations and the videos. The buttons at the bottom of the screen allow you to control how big these appear on your screen, so you can resize and make the window fit into your screen. On the bottom at the right hand side is the chat box where you can chat or enter questions to us. And we encourage you to send us your questions right from the start, so we will have a dedicated Q&A session. At the top of the screen of the right, there is the note box where we will group and display the question for ourselves to answer during the Q&A session. If you would like to download any of the presentations, the schedule or experts' biographies, these can be accessed in the file depot on the right-hand side of the screen. If you have any question during the discussion, just post them in the chat box on the bottom right. You can also post on our Facebook account and tweet to us at Fumono, F-U-M-O-N-O, or using the Ofmn webinar hashtag. The email address is at the bottom of the screen. So please let me introduce myself. My name is Massimo Cavazzini. I was also in the previous webinar talking about EcoDrive, and I'm currently responsible for the product portfolio planning, infotainment services, and global lead for the EcoDrive. EcoDrive is a free product from Fiat that helps you change the driving behavior, save fuel and money. So in order to have a better audio and video, what we'd like to do is now to launch a video that I prepared with my colleagues showing the results of the EcoDrive product. As you remember, in the first webinar, we demonstrated how EcoDrive works, how easy and how fun could be using EcoDrive. Now let me introduce the results of the EcoDrive. So we did a white paper explaining the results of EcoDrive, and I will show these results through a video, and soon after that we will meet again live for the Q&A session. We met in last webinar at the beginning of April speaking about EcoDrive, and in order to improve the quality for you of video and audio, we decided to explain the EcoDriving results through a video, and I'll be here to answer your questions during the Q&A session. So let's see the video. We are here today to discuss the EcoDriving, so the way that making small changes in driver behavior can bring to significant results in fuel efficiency and, of course, in money, not only CO2. Fiat has this unique tool in the world called EcoDrive that it's bringing
the real data from your car, analyzing the data and give feedbacks to the driver so they can change their driving behavior and improve fuel efficiency. We took our big database and we analyzed over 400,000 journeys from 5 countries, 5 European countries, for 5 months. And this is what we discovered. Fiat, as a result of this unique tool, has done in the past this study called White Paper on EcoDrive that shows the results of all eco-drivers. Usually the debate around reducing car emissions is all about technology. So electric vehicles, hybrid vehicles, fuel efficient cars, and all the stakeholders usually are concentrating themselves in the technology. What we did as Fiat, along discussing the technology and along being, as you know, for the 5th year in a row, the greenest car maker in Europe, we are also focusing on the drivers behavior and on the way they could improve their driving style to save fuel and save money. Fiat EcoDrive is a popular tool. It's free, it's available on all Fiat vehicles where you have telematics, and it's really easy to use. You can both plug a USB key and then bring it back to your PC where the data will be uploaded to the server, or you can use your smartphone with our mobile EcoDrive version. Data are then analyzed on the server and the driver could get tips and the analysis of the journeys in order to improve his fuel efficiency and his driving style. EcoDrive is bringing significant savings. What we discovered during the study is that the average eco-driver can save up to 6% of the fuel and up to 1,000 kilograms of CO2. It means that in the average life cycle of the car, it's between 600 and 700 euros. Then, if you look at the top 10% eco-drivers, so real drivers that achieve these results, we show, and data are saying, that we can save up to 16% and almost 3,000 kilograms of CO2. That means between 1,500 and 2,000 euros in the life cycle of your car. So you basically save fuel, money, and you help the environment. If we were all eco-drivers in EU, we could save up to 37 billion liters of fuel, 90 million of tons CO2 savings, and 50 billion euros in money. The 4 steps to fuel efficiency are, of course, changing your driving style in the 4 pillars. So the gear shift, the acceleration, the deceleration, and your speed. What we discovered is that the biggest contribution in the eco-driving is given by the early gear shift and the gear change. But unfortunately, this is a technique that should be learned, and it's quite difficult to learn. The second biggest contributor to saving fuel and money is the smooth acceleration, and also in this case, it's a technique that it's quite difficult to learn. What we discovered then is that on deceleration, of course, people can learn much faster and easier, and as you can see from the slide, it's contributing 25% on overall saving, but in terms of result and ease of use, the deceleration is the easiest parameter to learn. Then we have speed, that it's contributing for 15% to overall contribution and eco-index, while it's quite, let's say, difficult to learn. That's why we are giving live tips to our customers and to the drivers to better learn and to improve their driving technique. So the message is that EcoDrive can save fuel and create better drivers. What we saw is that the average trip while eco-driving doesn't change. We have the same distance, 10 kilometers, but what we discovered that it's really impressive is that people that use eco-drive can save 3% of time. So basically eco-drive and eco-driving in general is not making your journeys longer, but you are saving time, not only money and fuel. Also the speed that usually people is expecting to have, let's say, lower speeds, but speed during eco-driving is increasing 2.4%, so the eco-drivers are not going less faster than other drivers. Of course, the biggest improvement it's on stopping. So if you eco-drive and you are able to eco-drive, you reduce up to 13% your stops, and so the average stopping time is really decreasing. Good eco-driving means driving fluidly. As we saw, it's not just a matter of speed, but it's a matter of driving technique. So if you are able to have an average speed and a smooth driving, you can save fuel. Imagine a city like London that has an average speed of 19 kilometers per hour. So what we discovered is that eco-driving in London would mean have an 11% improvement. That means 5 kilometers per hour. So imagine all Londoners stuck in the traffic. If the Londoners would eco-drive, their average speed could go from 19 to 24 kilometers per hour. That means a huge amount of money and fuel saved, but also time. Thanks to our white paper, we discovered also that culture affects the driving efficiency. So we can say that UK drivers are the best eco-drivers in Europe because they can have handling of gears really great, and as we saw, it's quite difficult. Then we have Germany. German drivers accelerate maybe too forcefully, but they are really able in holding a constant speed. Then we have France. So the French drivers are the best in deceleration, even if they could improve their gear change. But let's say that the French drivers are the drivers that improved most in our study. We have then Italy. They have quite troubles in keeping the average speed, so too much stopping and accelerating, and are the drivers that are improving less between our 5 countries. Then we have Spain that has the worst initial eco-driving, so around 56, but they had the biggest improvement during the 30 days of our study. They passed to 58-59%. This means that each culture has its own environment and driving technique, but eco-driving techniques could be applied all over Europe. So where are the easiest place to eco-drive? Our study results suggest that there are some countries where it's easier to eco-drive. If we take UK, as we saw, it's the best place to eco-drive because the average stop time is just 8 minutes a day and the average speed is almost 40 kilometers per hour. Then we have Germany, where the stopping time is even less than UK. It's just around 6 minutes a day, and when the average speed is the best one, so 34.3 kilometers per hour. Then in the middle we have France with 34 kilometers per hour in average speed and 8 minutes a day of stopping time. And as we saw, the Southern Europe, Spain and Italy are the worst places for eco-driving because of stopping time, 9 and 10 minutes a day, and because average speed that is lower than other countries. In summary, how can we help Europe and the world to eco-drive, saving fuel and money? As I was saying at the beginning, we have three key pillars in this strategy. One is the car maker, and as Fiat, we are doing our best both on technology and both on the tools that we offer to our customers. Then we have the governments that could help the environment and the infrastructures. And then we have the third pillar, that it's you, the drivers, that changing the driving technique could help saving fuel and money. So at Fiat we are focusing on all these pillars to get the best results. So if you are interested in doing more, our suggestion is that you check the white paper, and we hope a new white paper is coming soon with new insights and with new analysis, because EcoDrive is a product that it's continuously improving. In example, what we did to widen the user base is to launch EcoDrive Mobile, that is actually in Google Play and in App Store for iPad, and we are working to make EcoDrive social. There is a fantastic video in explaining what we are doing for EcoDrive.
In 2008, we launched EcoDrive, the first application to connect you to your car and help you save CO2. Now EcoDrive is going social, linking you to thousands of other eco-drivers around the world. With the new mobile app, it's even easier to use. Simply connect your phone to your Fiat, and at the end of your journey, EcoDrive instantly shows you how efficiently you've been driving. Show friends how much you're saving by sharing on Facebook. See where you rank on the leaderboard. And check out the competition. Get even more motivated by challenging friends to try and beat your Eco Index score. Or take on the rest of the world for international glory. The more efficiently you drive, the more EcoDrive rewards you with awards and recognition. Top the leaderboard and you could become an eco-driving champion and even enter the EcoDrive Hall of Fame. An honour reserved only for the very best eco-drivers. Sorry, Franco. Saving CO2 and money is more fun when we do it together. Join in now with EcoDrive. Find us on the EcoDrive Facebook page.
This was the white paper 2010, and it's a unique study in the world based on real data in real roads, so based on the real behavior of the drivers. Now let's go back to the Q&A session, and then we will see who is the winner of our EcoDrive challenge. Thank you very much.
Okay, welcome back. I hope the video was clear enough. So, waiting for the first question, I invite you, if you have any questions on EcoDrive or on the video, to put your question in the chat window and we will address them. So, as you saw, we have several insights, unique insights, thanks to our EcoDrive product. I saw the first couple of questions arriving, so I invite you, while I'm answering the first questions, to place any other question or doubts or curiosity you could have. So question number one, which data is the most surprising in your opinion? Well, honestly, when speaking about eco-driving, usually people associate the eco-driving technique to a slow driving to a boring driving. And to me it was quite amazing when we had the first white paper analyzing all the data, is that if you eco-drive, you are not losing the speed, but you are kind of maintaining it, or let's say going faster. And this is, I think, one of the main insights, that eco-driving doesn't mean to speed, doesn't mean to slow down, but means to drive more fluidly and to have an average speed that it's near to the, let's say, optimum. So the question number 2, what are the main factors that influence traffic fluidity? Well, of course, there are several factors influencing the fluidity, and we have, let's say that we can separate them into two main areas. One is the driver and the car, and the other one is the external factors, so the traffic, or the roads, the traffic lights, and stuff like that. Of course, let's say eco-drive is working on the driver behavior, so it's helping the drivers to improve their technique and to have more fluidity. On the other side, of course, there are the external factors, so public administrations could work in improving the fluidity, so in example, to have traffic lights that take into account the real-time traffic and all the technologies around the fluidity of the traffic. Joining these two areas, drivers' behavior and external factors, we can arrive to a more fluid traffic that, as we saw in the London example, could help, let's say, the city itself to have less traffic, to save fuel, money, and so to have less pollution. Question number 3, do you think that the right-handed drive system has been a factor for the UK drivers' victory? No, I don't think so, because I mean, it doesn't really matter if you are right or left-handed. Probably let's say the external factors in UK are helping the total amount of, let's say, factors in the driving technique. What I mean is that if we take the cultural session of the white paper, we saw that the UK drivers are, let's say, the best eco-drivers, and we could say that on one hand they are by culture eco-drivers. On the other hand, we can say that public administration in Great Britain have next years. Yes, yes, we are going to have some new studies thanks to our database that is growing. Currently, we have more than 14 million journeys, real journeys, in our database. So we are planning to have more unique insights. As you know, the EcoDrive white paper is a unique study in the world because it's based on real data, real drivers, and we are currently analyzing other aspects. In example, if CNG vehicles could be, let's say, more eco also in the driving style compared to gasoline, or if the Spanish are now better, I don't know, that UK drivers and things like that. it's an ongoing study, and probably we will release something during this year. So there is question number 5. Are you planning to do a similar study in the US in collaboration with Chrysler? Well, as you know, the EcoDrive product is now working in the US, where the Fiat 500 with Blue and Me could be equipped with the EcoDrive system and application. So basically what we are currently doing is expanding our product worldwide. There are now more than 14 countries using EcoDrive in the world, and there is, let's say, a plan to join all the data from the eco-drivers in the world, so also US will be part of the study. In the long term, as a, let's say, Fiat Chrysler, we believe that the EcoDrive application will be a key factor to help the environment and to keep the low CO2 emission. So basically the roadmap is to extend on the entire portfolio the EcoDrive application. So question number 6. Did you also notice gender differences in the EcoDrive results? So this is part of what we are analyzing in this moment. The current study that will probably be released in a new white paper during this year will show some difference. We are still not in the position to, let's say, disclose those data, but what we can say is that what we learned from the past is that culture is affecting the way people are eco-driving, so UK better than Germany, better than Italy, and things like that. Now what we are analyzing, if, in example, female drivers are better than male drivers, or if Punto drivers are better than 500 drivers, if gasoline drivers are better than CNG or vice versa. And so in the next version of the white paper, we will give more insights also on these topics. Okay, I would suggest, to have a couple of minutes more on Q&A. If you have any curiosity on the EcoDrive application, on the white paper, or on the mobile versions, as you saw in the video, last video that that was on my presentation, we have launched the mobile application currently on Android and iPad, and we are going to launch on BlackBerry and Symbian smartphones soon. So basically what we are doing is to expand not only the number of vehicles and the number of countries where you can use EcoDrive, but we are trying to give people new channels, and smartphones are a new channel for using EcoDrive to extend the user base. As you saw, if in Europe all people were eco-drivers, we can save CO2 and fuel, and we can save the emissions of Portugal or Croatia, the equivalent of CO2. So we are, let's say, trying to bring the EcoDrive application also on the new media and new channels. And I invite you to try our new mobile applications. Okay, so if there are no more questions, I would let to my colleague Pavel Ivanov the microphone, what we are now going to do is to comment a little bit the EcoDrive challenge. As you remember, the end of the game and of the challenge, with the chance to win a trip for 2 persons to Turin, was at 4. So now the game is closed, and I let Pavel explain how the challenge has been conducted and which are the main results, and soon after we will announce the winner.
Hello to everybody. So, as you can see in the poll of the month, we have asked what are the innovations that most reduce fuel consumption and maximize CO2 saving. What we saw that most of people have replied that it is eco-driving and engine downsizing. All this information are right, and Fiat has a solution for each of these innovations. So we have a Fiat EcoDrive application available on almost all of Fiat cars with Blue and Me equipment. We have also Fiat Twin Air turbo engine 875 cc as the winner of the best green engine in 2011 award. And we have also start and stop available on all of the most diffused Fiat car as 500, Punto and Panda. What we can see from this graph is that eco-driving is one of the most is one of the innovations that can give maximum contribution for saving fuels. The bubble are proportionate with the saving of fuel for euro spent for the innovation. So the most important thing is that eco-driving is at zero cost for the consumer. Whereas the other innovations are, yes, very efficient, but have always a cost on the user side. From this period in which we played this game on the website, we saw that we get more than 1,000 participants, mainly from Italy, Germany, Ireland, Netherlands, Belgium, United Kingdom, Portugal. But we get also participants from USA, India, Brazil, although they are not eligible for the winning of the prize. The mean starting index of the people that played the game was 41, and the mean ending was 62. So player got an average improve of 66% in eco point. And this means 20% less in fuel consumption. The gameplays, we get more than 5,000 gameplays. So in medium, each participant has played about 5 times. So the play was funny, and the people wanted to try again. We saw from the visit to the website that we have an improvement about 600% of unique visitors in this period until now. So for us it's meaning that there is high interest in EcoDrive and Fiat initiative about sustainability. So now we are ready for say who is the winner of this prize. Only one moment, and I will upload it on the website. Ok, dove si mette qua? Ok. Okay, it's ready. So, as you can see, we had some new players that in the last minutes of the game has tried to play over and over, and now we see that the winner is the player with the nickname 500 Calham. Now all the participant will be contacted by us for verifying that he is eligible for receiving the prize. So he must be 18 years old and having driving license to drive here in Italy, and must be resident in Europe. Eventually, if this should not be eligible, we will contact the second and the third and etc. Now the game is finished, and the game will be transferred on the Fiat EcoDrive page on Facebook. So you can continue to improve your driving style and continue learn how to reduce your fuel consumption. Okay, thank you very much for being with us in this last webinar, and that's all. L'ho già commentata.
Okay, so congratulations to the winner, that is 500 Calaham. We will contact him, and if eligible, he will be in Turin with us for a couple of days visiting Turin. I'd like also to thank all the gamers that took part in the challenge during these days. We had more than 1,000 participants, so I mean, we are very happy. Before leaving, we would like also to address a couple of questions that arise before at the end of the Q&A. So, how many people worked on the EcoDrive project, and what was the secret for having high score in the EcoDrive game, and which is the difference between the EcoDrive game and the EcoDrive in the Fiat cars. So basically the EcoDrive project involved several people, I would say hundreds, because it's basically an engineering product. So it's starting from the car and the data available in the car, and then it's passing to the marketing, because to make a fun product, we took the, let's say, engineering data and we transformed them into a fun application and a mobile application. Going to the question, which are, let's say, the secret factors to have a good EcoPoint ranking, and which are the difference between the EcoDrive game on the Facebook page and the one in the car. So what we tried to do in the game is to replicate as much as possible the application that is running in the car. Of course, as we were seeing in the first webinar, the 4 pillars of the EcoDrive are the gear change, the acceleration, the deceleration, and the speed. And what the in-car application, EcoDrive, let's say in the real vehicles, is doing is recording those data before sending them to the server, and the server then is analyzing the data and transforming them into an eco-index and into tips to improve the driving style. In the Eco Challenge game, what we did is to replicate this philosophy. So basically, the secret for winning the game was mainly to improve the driving style based on those 4 pillars in a reasonable amount of time. Well, once again, on behalf of Fiat Group, I'd like to thank all the participants in the webinar. I invite you to join our Facebook page, both for Fiat and EcoDrive, and to visit fiat.com/ecodrive if you have any specific curiosity or question around the world of EcoDrive. I also invite you to follow the next steps of EcoDrive. So we announced the mobile application that we are going to launch soon on BlackBerry and Symbian, and are available for Android smartphones and iPad. And along the year we will have some more interesting news about the eco-driving. So thank you very much, and see you in the next workshop. Bye bye.